Welcome to New Heaven Builders. It's December 6th, 2017. So just a few little protocol things to go over. We definitely want to remember that we're all equal. We're all equal priests, and that we can all contribute to this, the facilitation of this group. Of course, there might be some time of silence. Let me help. Which is fine. We want to try and stay together and honor everyone's contributions. We're going to obviously step through Jesus the door and enter the veil of life to the Holy of Holies, moving beyond the inner court. We engage the cross, where we give over our own issues and choose to die to self, which is always something important to do prior to our ascensions, and actually every morning. So I'm going to mute you, Jane. So right now, we're going to engage the blood of the Lamb. Let's put our body and soul under our spirit and offer ourselves as a living sacrifice, renewing our first love covenant and choosing to open all our gates. We seal off all ungodly portals and dimensions. We want to entangle with the seven spirits and wisdoms, handmaidens. We engage all the heavenly hosts to assist us. So right now, let's step through Jesus the door and enter the veil of life to the Holy of Holies, moving beyond the inner court. And I just feel so strongly that we're to meet by the tree of life. So whenever anybody sees anything, please feel free to contribute.
Well, I see the strangest thing. I see the tree of life, but it's spinning, kind of like a merry-go-round might. And there's a spout of water coming from the center, just shooting like super high, as you imagine like a geyser might erupt.
Lee says she sees a bumblebee. Lisa says she sees pairs of gold hanging on the tree. I had seen fruit hanging off the tree as well. Lee was saying that she keeps looking at the golden stripes on the bumblebee, seeing golden liquid in streams.
I see the tree of life, and at the base of the tree, there's multicolored smooth stones.
I'm feeling an intense need to increase my frequency and the frequency of the ecclesia, as if we need to be anointed by oil, honey, gold, whatever, and to go to a higher frequency. And I'm
Lisa,
also seeing,
go ahead, finish. I'm sorry, Jean.
oh, I was just also feeling where we finished off last time, you know, in that funny, what are we going to call it, ride thing, where I actually see it's a portal. It's a portal to new realms in infinity. I feel like there, and just allowing that flow to come through, that such that our frequency can all get on a higher realm.
Yeah, well, Lisa said that she sees the water sprouting out of the top of the tree running down over the pears, and they are growing larger. Then as the water hits the stones, they are changing color. And then she also sees the water as liquid gold. So definitely an anointing and frequency on this for sure. And then Lee says that she saw the golden stripes wrapping around her and using the bee to get on, to go up higher. Cool.
A lot of gold in what we're seeing too.
Mm. And gold's a much higher frequency, and it's a great conductor.
I also see the liquid gold is like running water out of the tree, but I see that some of the fruits are musical notes, and they are making musical, like tingling and shaking. They're giving out vibrations like musical notes, and as they are moving by themselves and causing a sound.
So Lisa said that she agrees and she sees the pears dancing on the tree. And then Donna, she went back to Elliot's merry-go-round and saw and see as all of their going round and around, our bellies are really big, like we are getting ready to give birth. Oh.
Mm.
It's funny, when I was looking at the bees, I saw that they had like really big bellies. They were fat little bees.
Yeah, I'm getting a sense we might be giving birth to a new blueprint today. And I'm seeing definitely the ecclesia is resonating at too low a frequency to see a bigger blueprint at the moment and to come together in harmony on the one page. It's as if we have to just allow heaven to just flow through us, to allow that a beautiful flow with no resistance.
I saw our bellies burst open and the water blew out.
Woohoo.
And then I saw the honey. I saw the honey coming out of the bee, out of its belly. So it's like we birthed the water and then the honey out of the bee.
And fruit is what you give birth to. You give birth to fruit.
So did we give birth to musical notes, high frequencies?
Yes, I believe so. And then Lisa said that pairs represent health, blessings, money, and flow. Wow, so that makes sense.
Lee's post there is important, I think. What is cross-pollination, she says?
Yeah, the cross-pollination allows the ecclesia to get to a higher blueprint because they're using the body. They're not just going down one stream network denomination. It's a vital principle we've seen right from the start of Ecclesia Framework.
I just wanted to point out there's some fruit that you can't get without cross-pollination by the bee.
Oh, wow. Yeah. There's definitely a resistance to cross-pollination. I feel that really strongly. And I think that's what there's all this honey and gold and everything is to take away the memory of clashes and just to bring that beautiful place of anointing where you're in such a blissful state that you're not fearful of that. Well, you don't even remember the past. And I see something, Elliot, about that merry-go-round. I think there's two aspects to it. That did you say something about it going higher? Because I think one.
There was like a geyser in the middle of it, so it like, I don't know what was in it, but it was like shooting way up in the air.
Yeah, I see. There's two levels. There's the one where the merry-go-round could go up and keep like going up in a spiral like a geyser, which would go to a higher blueprint. But there's also the aspect of you can keep going round on the same merry-go-round. What's that phrase? Oh, go round.
Keep going around the mountain.
Yeah, there's also a thing around a merry-go-round. Oh, going around the same merry-go-round again. So you're basically just sitting on that horse, just going round and round in circles. And I see that's an option that people can take, and the Ecclesia has taken. We just keep going round and the same, and they're not allowing that merry-go-round to go up the realms. I see it's a reference to just doing the same old protocol over and over again, which then is based out of fear instead of the freshness of new day relationship. So you just get on that merry-go-round and you just do that same protocol because you're fearful, whereas you're not actually trusting the fullness of Christ in relationship. So you're falling back to the protocol. Lisa says, going around the same old mountain level, we are to be like hinds feet. They don't go around the mountain, but can go up the mountain quickly. Yeah, that's exactly. And Lee says the bee is growing larger. I just see we're being called to let go of so much protocol. Any sense of protocol we've adopted, it keeps the frequency lower. It's fresh bread every day, fresh revelation, fresh encounter. Lee says about getting on the bee and going up higher. I can see that. Just allowing ourselves to go higher.
Well, there's something about the bee, but there's also something about that spout of like whatever's coming from the center, the liquid. And I bet you could surf it, you know, go way up, and then some more, and so on.
A geyser is generated by hot water. The water has to be really hot for it to go off so high.
I'm seeing an analogy with that geyser to the fountain of life in Revelation. As if we haven't engaged the fountain of life enough too much. We've just gone round that merry-go-round and just kept doing the same old protocol because we felt security in the protocol, that we wouldn't be in error. I think it's all saying the same thing. You engage that fountain, it's like going up, and the bee, it's all the same principles. So the method doesn't matter, it's the openness to engage the freedom of life.
It's all about flowing with him, just letting go and going with the flow that he's giving us here.
Yeah, because it's, you know, Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. We have a choice of doing the way, or we have a choice of doing the truth, or we have a way, or the choice of doing life. And if you've got to understand the difference, and when you're slipping into truth and not the life, oh, do you want to share, Donna? Can you speak? That's really good what you shared.
Yeah, I can talk. Basically, what I was seeing is I'm still focused on that merry-go-round and us on the merry-go-round. And I see them, the merry-go-round in the colors of like the seven spirits of God. And they are going so fast that they're actually turning white. And my understanding of the turning white is them all intertwining together, they turn white, carries a higher frequency. So I see as they're turning white, we are as well. And it's carrying us up in like a whirlwind, I guess you could say, to the higher frequencies, to the higher areas to higher, not being held back, I guess is what I'm trying to say. As we allow ourselves to engage that frequency.
Yeah, absolutely resonating with that. I think we're just back to that very same encounter of that portal of just, because that's what happened. I saw the 7 colors then, and then when the 7 colors go to high frequency, it becomes white. That's a scientific fact.
As Dana was talking, I heard wings of change. The angel wings of change is here to facilitate the change. And it comes like a storm, a whirlwind.
I've been hearing that we're about to be shown something unexpected. Jane, you spoke about the possibility of a new blueprint, I think.
Oh, yeah, I've just heard something really amazing. Oh, it's if you can get into this place of this whirling portal in the new, I think it's the Finnish now, New Jerusalem. It's the it's the new earth. It's actually what it's like when you're in this new earth and you're always resonating at this massive high frequency because everything is so ecstatic and perfect and beautiful. And it's a kind of like a gateway to all these new realms that you can explore when you're experiencing the new earth. And I've just seen us all. Oh yeah, so I should say, if you can't get there, you can go in the fountain of life, really begin to experience the fountain of life. Really helps you increase your frequency and get into that life mode, not what is the doctrine, what is the truth. But I see all the ecclesias spinning around there, and they're falling into this vortex, which is a vortex of all these realms to explore in the new earth. I have actually been in here before a few days ago. It was amazing. It was totally amazing. But I see all the ecclesia, they're falling in there. And what's happening is they're all getting jumbled up. It's like a vortex thing. And they're all getting jumbled up. And there's no choice but cross-pollinating. The choice has been taken away from us in this position. And so it's like if you allow yourself to get to this position, the cross-pollinating will take place, because you just fall in there. And then you see the life. You see the difference between truth and life. And you can go in and go in all these realms, and amazing things happen, and it's like a winter wonderland. It's just beautiful.
Is this a building of a new earth as opposed to new heaven builders?
Well, I think we definitely seem to be being moved to consider new earth a little bit more.
Is there a functioning here? I've had a functioning the last few days where it's a whirlwind kind of thing, and I feel like I'm a jackhammer. You know, that chattering noise that a jackhammer makes, an air hammer makes, used to break up the road or something like that.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
I've been experiencing that for the last several days. When I just get into the right frequency, the right mode, that happens, and it's just chattering away, and I'm breaking things up somehow.
Oh yeah, I have that a lot, that kind of similar type of experience. But I think the natural flow of whenever you're building new heaven, it must flow into new earth. So it's a natural progression for us to be led to begin to experience what new earth could be like. Because once you see it, you open yourself up. It's like you open yourself to allow yourself to experience it. You don't fear it. You don't constantly keep saying this is silly, and so you have to have the occasional experience, and then you have to go back and then work on the resistance. But this is really fun. Do you feel freedom to go in here?
Something else is coming on my radar here. And I was dismissing it, but it came back, so I'm just going to say it. I'm marking that, in the beginning, before the recording even came on, we were talking about how Jerusalem is becoming the new, what do you call it? Main city of Israel. Not main city, what's the term?
Capital.
Capital, thank you. Yeah, the Jerusalem's becoming the capital. And, now we're talking about how the new earth is taking shape. And it makes me wonder if this Jerusalem becoming the capital of Israel is an aligning that's happening in the spirit in the New Jerusalem coming down, meaning us as the new bride, just coming into place. I was just wondering if that's a mirror reflection of what's happening in the spirit. Just to confirm that we're working on the new earth taking shape. That's just a thought. It came to me more than once. So I thought
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's resonating with me.
This really is a big step. We're starting to not just have a heavenly emphasis, we're coming down to a new earth emphasis, which is, I wasn't expecting that yet.
Is that part of the new blueprint?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
What I was hearing was it had to do with the manifest sons beginning to do their part on the new, of doing their work on the new earth.
Yeah, it's all a form of real manifestation.
And it's as in heaven as on earth, but it's as in new heaven as on new earth.
This group has got a new name as of tonight.
Yeah.
New heaven and earth builders.
Yes! Woohoo! Yes! Woo! Oh,
Can
yeah. Shall we change the name?
Can I make a suggestion or offer a suggestion? What if the blueprint includes cross-pollination of the earth?
Includes cross-pollination of the earth. Can you say a bit more?
Well, it's something that I know, I'm on my scroll. What I do is cross-pollinate. There's a scientific term which I can't come up. It's something resonant, where it's going through the gate and the sheep follow. The whole cross-pollination thing is something God has been really bringing up, and how the tribes on the earth, the tribes of the ecclesia, are catching up to many of the forerunners because of cross-pollination. Something I'm called to do. And I see cross-pollination as part of the blueprint. I know it's in my blueprint. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. Because the restoration of all things requires earth participation.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
My head hasn't caught up with it yet, but there's something resonating.
Definitely.
I can really see the tribes catching up because of cross-pollination. I can see it really happening. And it's allowed an acceleration that we never got when we had these static networks that didn't cross-pollinate a great deal.
Yes, yes. I see cross-pollination on the blueprint myself.
Yeah. And the internet's allowed that big time in a way that it didn't fully allow in previous generations.
And there's a natural law, if you can say that, if I can use that. Cross-pollination produces the sweetest fruit.
Huh?
That's something the Lord.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. I love it.
As you all are talking about it, I'm seeing, are we these bees as well? We're not just I think that we already established that, but I'm just really seeing now that I'm definitely a bee, and I'm to be cross-pollinating. So this, I guess, so I just see that very clearly and strongly.
I have a very strong mandate to cross-pollinate as well, and I'm often doing a little bit of bee activity on Facebook, popping in here and there and seeing what they're saying and sharing a bit of what I'm seeing. And
All of us are. I mean, that's very clear. The other piece is when we said new heaven builders and new earth builders, what that gave me the sense is we should be able to recognize each other in heaven and in earth. So that means that if you see somebody who looks like they're spinning on a merry-go-round, like super fast, turning into white light, maybe becoming kind of a ball glowing, you might recognize, like, hey, I know you. Didn't we just meet? And you're like, yeah, it was me.
And I see the blueprint as well is we've got to go beyond white light to blue light, which is an even higher frequency.
Now, can I bring back Israel and Jerusalem into this? Part
Yeah.
of their teaching belief is cross-pollination is an abomination. That's being
Really?
changed.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. The mixture. Don't let's.
Wow. I wonder if that's why the all this revelation hasn't been able to come out for so long, because that's been such a rooted principle, which even the charismatic Christian movements have taken on because of fear of heresy.
Yeah, sounds, yeah.
Wow, because it is a major, major trading floor.
This is kind of tipping into what we were talking about for the scroll group, but it's coming up to me right now. I see, instead of what's been the siloing, instead of the cross-pollination, there's some groups that are even siloed, they're like silos. But I see instead, I see a tapestry, and I see us as like the yarn that connects the different fabrics together, like in a quilt. You know how a quilt has all these different patches of different colors and things, and it's in some of the old country quilts, they literally use little pieces of yarn and just tie knots to connect the square pieces. And as a part of this cross-pollination, I see us as yarn that's attaching the different fabrics of squares in the quilt or the tapestry.
That's beautiful.
Like networking. There's a thread of commonality throughout the network.
Yeah, and it's the connection, and it's unity, and there's an acknowledgement that there's a difference between all the pieces, but yet the pieces are connected to make one.
Yeah, and then the quilt forms this beautiful big picture when you look back from a distance.
Yeah, it's even art.
Yeah, the Lord will often say, take a closer look, and pull you way back and say, to take a closer look, you have to step back and look at the panorama.
Yeah, it keeps you warm. It does something. It's not just a scrap.
Yeah. Simone, I've seen a very similar thing with this sort of, like, I describe it as like strings go through Metatron's cube, but represents our spirit, and it's as if our spirit goes through all these strings and then forms this like lattice network that can eventually compass the whole of Metatron's cube. And then when we move something, the whole of all the realms and the dimensions, they move completely, because that's the extent of our magnificence as a manifest sun. We become so much part of Metatron's cube, we can just influence it all in a small movement. But there's also like a lattice string network of ties to the wrong ties as well, to the earth, and the soul ties that enmeshes in this this lower game. You know, pull you back to materialism, getting stuff out of the earth, outside of Christ, and all that stuff. And it's the extent to which we can live out of this other matrix. Tether to that, really, tether.
I was just thinking something similar, Jane, how, you know, there's many times before we've untethered from the earth and all that, but I'm seeing another level of untethering that I think we need to do even tonight in order to come into alignment with this new earth that's being created. And I think that might be, I don't know about everybody else, but I felt kind of zonked around this week. And I was like, what in the world is going on? And usually it's when we're about to go to another level that it gets bumpy sometimes. And so I'm wondering if this bumpiness the last couple of days is due to this new earth forming. And maybe I need to detach more from this old earth that's passing away, and purposely, I don't know if we tether to the new earth, but definitely detach from this old one that's passing away. Do you understand what I'm saying?
It's almost like we've been saying all these years that we're citizens of heaven, but now we're citizens of heaven and of a new earth.
Yeah, and if there's any still attachment to that's passing away, you'll feel it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying this for everybody, but it was just a thought that just came to me. So I'm just examining that for myself.
Well, the bumpiness might be like labor pains.
That's true, Elliot. That's true. That's possible. Very true. Because we did just see that we're birthing something too.
Can I ask, do you think it could be, because I know in my case, and I've experienced a lot of this recently too, but in my case, I'm like a standard, because as we explore, those behind are still cared for. And when the flood comes, he uses me as a standard. Does that make sense? To I don't know if that makes sense. Sorry, getting some distractions here.
Could you just say that again, Pamela?
Just to start, I mean, the whole untethering, you know, having untethered, as a forerunner, he's plugging me back in. He's plugging me back in deliberately. And it's to be a standard. When the enemy comes as a flood, God raises a standard, and things hit me, a wave that's intended to go through the body, because God does care about those on the earth too. When the wave comes through, he lifts me up as a standard to protect. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of, maybe this is, I don't know. Maybe that's not making sense. I was just explaining something that, trying to explain something
Well,
that.
it's almost
been
like being
explained.
a city of refuge, almost. That we become the light on the mountain.
Yeah, I know often when I hit bumpy roads, it's because I know first off a wave that's coming. And like, you know, when it comes like a flood, I lift up as a standard to block much of the wave on a lot of people. So maybe it's semantics we're talking. But, you know, consider that too.
Pamela, as you're speaking, the picture that I get is like a shield. You know, when, as you say, as the flood comes, that, you know, we take the brunt of it because we're slightly more aware than the rest of the body, that they're still catching up. So like a first line of defense, a buffer, or, you know, as I say, we absorb the brunt of it, and they just get the ripples, but they don't get the you know, the brunt of the storm.
Mm.
Right. I'm just saying that's just something I've been experiencing recently. And I thought, Simone, maybe that's something to consider as well.
That's good. Thank you for saying that. And as you all were talking, what I saw was a wall of rocks, and how we can be rock that's separating the inland from the waves. And you know, the rocks take direct hits, but yet the inland is protected.
Simone, I was hearing the word seawall just as you said that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. The seawall takes the brunt of the heavy waves and protects the land, the shore.
Yeah, that's good. So that's another way of saying what Pamela was just saying. Thank you for sharing that, Pam.
I mean, I'm just finding it quite the phenomenon that with all the untethering, he keeps deliberately plugging me back in. And I believe that that's as part of the cross-pollination as well. And I'm sorry, I've got a little one who's just trying very hard to totally.
No, that's agreement. That's agreement.
Mm.
Yeah,
Recognize,
probably.
recognize it.
Well, her name is Theophania or Theophany, so.
So I'm still seeing that the more we get into the age of Zion and age of new beginnings, we tether more than we untether. So because the untethering can become protocol. So back to what the picture before we saw. So it's how do we tether to this new environment? And I was just shown that when we go into this portal with the new realms, it tethers us automatically. It's like, wow, it's just so, there's no going back. It sort of like weaves around you so that draws you in more and more, draws you away from protocol. it's a whole new way of operating. It's so different from even how we operate in heaven previously, you know, sort of seeing things and stepping into things. It's a whole new ball game. It's I'm getting a sense that the mandate for today is tethering to this new earth, and we do that by allowing ourselves to engage it. Oh yeah, because it almost, when you engage it, it's like these strings get woven in all the realms in Metatron's cube. Did you hear what I shared about Metatron's cube before? I wasn't sure if I was on mute when I was talking.
Yes, we heard it.
Oh, good. Yeah, yeah. So any agreement on a mandate today?
From what you're saying, Jane, it sounds like we simply engage here, and if you could describe what you're experiencing, maybe we can move into the fullness of it.
Well, is it, I wouldn't describe, I would just say all of us allow ourselves to fall into this and see what you experience.
Okay. So
If everyone's sort of in agreement and happy to do that. Can you feel any resistance to that, or?
I'm seeing slash experiencing something. I'm seeing, I see us moving as a unit, and as we're moving, it's like these shimmery stars are fluttering all over the place. It's almost like a beautiful glitter. It's like a silver glitter, and it's impacting everything around us. And I think this is I think I'm seeing what Jane was describing in Metatron's cube, and I think it's affecting every dimension in Metatron's cube, and it's I just see us turning, and as we're turning, this beautiful glitter, that's the best way I could describe it. It's this glitter that's in the shape of stars is being spread out or coming off of us, if you will, and it's impacting the entire atmosphere around us. And as we're moving and oscillating, it's just spreading all over the place. And I feel like it's causing transformation. And so that's just what I'm seeing.
Wow, that's amazing. What do you sense the glitter thing is?
That's what I was trying to see what that is. I'm trying to hear. It's really beautiful. It's very vivid. I can see it very clearly. Let me just ask what it is.
I'm wondering if it's particles coming off us and changing from the light to the earth form, from light form to earth form.
Oh.
It's the mechanism of bringing new heaven to new earth.
That's very profound, Bill, if that's true. Gosh, that's really profound.
Silver represents man, right?
Simone, as you were talking, I was seeing like a very fine silk thread. Like, you know, and I'm envisioning like the silkworm. So I don't know if that it's kind of reminded me of that silk thread being woven around a silkworm, and then when it's birthed, you know, you have that beautiful butterfly. But it's so fine and glistening, like you were describing. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's very beautiful shimmer. I don't know if these stars represent people. I'm not getting what they are yet. I'll keep meditating on it and see what I get.
I feel, Simone, that I also saw what you saw, and that we've kind of combined as like a giant bright, it's like a sphere of light, and it's the very opposite of what is a black hole. We're a white emanating body, and we're those who are the creating, and that's why you see stars peeling off of us, is because we keep releasing. The black hole literally takes matter and sucks it in, but we actually create and we send it forth.
If that's the case, are we at the very beginning stage of creating a new earth, as in let there be light kind of thing? I mean, just at the very beginning of the whole process.
I could see that, Bill, that these stars could literally be stars in the in the galaxy, if you will, like Jeanette was saying. It could be.
I'm resonating with that, Bill. And what I'm seeing is, you know, back to these all these strings and everything. It's as if we've all got strings, and all our strings are attached to everyone else's strings. And as I'm going down these vortex and these realms, it's like a string. It's pulling all the rest of the ecclesia down there because it has to go, because everything's connected. And the only way they're not going is if they totally don't connect and they cut off. So i.e. they don't cross-pollinate. And Lisa's put something very interesting, because I'm still thinking of cross-pollination in reference to Israel. So I heard Zechariah 9 verse 6, a mixed race shall settle in Ashdod. That is central Israel, where the Ark of the Covenant was taken. Mixed race. Whew.
I see as we're going down with a string, we are all pulling down. A liquid gold is being poured on us. So we all look golden.
There's that gold again.
Well, I wonder if that's just awakening us to the fact we are gold. So we're getting more conscious of that is what we're made of.
Mm-hmm. We're the golden city.
So are we in agreement to fall in there together? Because I get the sense the more who do that, the more the force will be greater.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
We're already going down
Yes.
there. I'm sliding
You
down.
couldn't wait, Patience.
I'm sliding. I think that gold makes it slippery too. So we're slipping. You have no choice but to go.
Whew. Well, okay then. Let's all dive in. We could even join hands or join spirits, infuse to become one. Sort of entangle the strings, so to speak, strings of DNA. And whew, let's go. Any experiences or?
I have a great sense of peace and joy and like oneness. We are united as a body. And there is a huge cloud of witness ready waiting for us there when we got there. And like they are celebrating us.
Wow, that's encouraging.
I had a witness in my body. I had a big shock in my body when I just said with my mouth, and I just framed it up that I was tethered to the new earth. I got a big shock.
So likewise, we are tethered to the new earth automatically.
Yes. Because I'm arm locked and finger locked and everything with everybody.
I get the sense, and I see this fantastic like loom. If we're all arm locked and we've got some threads, and you take us and we're like getting moved around, we're like being used to weave, but not just one thread, like lots of them. And it makes the super awesome, better than rope. It's like pathways and connections between people, places, things, realms, dimensions, and it looks pretty cool.
I just saw pictures continually of things that's been created, coming from where we were together, molded together, and it was just like coming out of us, just shooting out. Just so many different things being created.
I think that's what the stars were, Lee. It was just a picture of creating, that we were creating as we were moving.
Yeah, I saw cities just boom, and
Oof.
things in cities, trees, but they were all gold. It was just, just continual. It was like we were going down. I don't know if we were supposed to be going down, but I felt like sort of almost like as we were going down levels and levels and levels and levels. And as we were just sort of doing that, it was just levels of just so many different things being created.
She's describing the New Jerusalem, us coming down and creating a new earth.
Yes, I think so. I think it's just like it's like light sprays out from us and creates things.
That's what I was seeing. It was all coming out of us, and then it would take on forms, actual forms.
Yeah.
And I was looking and I was just seeing, oh, there's a city over there. Oh, look, there's a city. Oh, there's over there. And, oh, there's things being formed over there. Yeah. And it was just all around. I felt like we were in this circular tube That's how I saw it, like this circular tube, and all the way 360 degrees, all the way around, just everywhere, just birthing, just yeah.
Yeah.
But going also in levels, it was going down in levels, not just linear. It was just yeah.
I see that. I see what you'll just be able to create whatever you set your heart on. And it will just morph, and it will just happen, and that's the wonder of it. So you'll be able to just go into all sorts of different environments, and you'll be walking along, look at something, oh yeah, let's change into this, and then oh, I want to see this, wham, you'll just be able to create this amazing vista or whatever, and it just like, oh, there's no limit to anything. And I also saw it's like you can get off at different, down this vortex, this tube, you can get off at different levels, and then these are kind of like different realms, and they're sort of, and then you feel like you're just walking along a path and you're doing whatever you want to do, and creating and morphing and integrating with creation in whatever way. Oh, questions just come to me. If you go further down and then get off, whether the experience is deeper. Oh, oh.
I had an experience today of going deeper down in what I felt like an ocean, but the further down I went, the more light there was and the more life there was, as opposed to the natural where you go down and it's just carcasses down there and stuff. But it was more and more light and more life the further down I went.
That's really interesting, Bill, because that really should be what it's like. The deeper you go, the more light. And maybe that's a sign that if we're not seeing things, if we're seeing things in a lot of dark contexts and not a lot of color and vividness, we're not going deep enough. So a lot of my stuff, I still see a lot of black and a lot of, it's not really bright colors still.
It's like you sense that you're going down darker, but it's actually light. Your expectation is darkness. And yeah, I've actually seen like going down a dark tunnel down, but the real experience of it when you get there is light.
I wonder whether that's where you've got to tether to light and the whole, and color and everything. You got to let go of any expectations of what anything's like on the natural earth.
We're leaving death behind us.
Yeah.
We're coming out of that, of that mindset, of that expectation, and we're expecting light and life now.
I just wouldn't make that a rule of thumb, because darkness is not, I mean, darkness can just be mystery too, and search it out, and you learn to release light from within to brighten it up. You know, he surrounds himself in deep darkness. So
Yeah. The
yeah,
darkness is the hiddenness of it.
exactly. And
Yeah.
you know, there are things that are dark that you just have to search out.
Hmm. Hmm. That's an interesting
And as
point.
you wear your armor of light, you do illuminate where you are. But you know, even that I find sometimes is hit and miss.
Ooh,
So
is this fun? Should be fun.
yeah, so I have a question. So we shouldn't be should we not be tethered to the new earth and tethered to the light instead?
Ooh, that's a bit deep.
That's the question that's coming to me now. At first, I felt too tethered to the new earth, but I'm asking the question now if I should be. I heard you all talked about tethering to the light side. That's a question I'm going to ask and see what I get. What response?
Oh no, I've got a response. Yeah, no, everything's one. So the
Okay.
light is this. It's all one. Is
Mm-hmm.
the new earth, and everything's one. And yeah, so there's no distinctions in anything anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That goes with me with the perfect, the particles of perfection.
Mm, yes. It's like new heaven and new earth will be one. There'll be no boundaries. So you'll just be able to like. That's why you can morph and change things, but then they'll feel physical, but then they'll be spiritual as well, and you'll be able to just change things. So it will be the dual dynamics in a way that none of us can get our head around. How something can be physical but spiritual at the same time. There's no time here. I see no time. No.
I'm hearing that Jerusalem is the new headquarters.
Huh? I don't know how we're doing for time, but I'm getting a real sense that we're being called to get off and have a look around. Do you want to quickly do that? Just
Love to.
yeah. I'm going to go deeper than I did before, but it's up to you. I suppose if you haven't ever got off, it's always just one experience. So you can just get off and you can just engage with joy. What does your spirit want to do? If you had complete freedom, what does it want to do? Complete joy, complete, no restrictions on anything. Donna says she's feels very light, like floating. It's like we're communicating not by words, but by frequencies coming from us.
I feel like there is a bottom, and it's the surface of this new earth, and you can dance on it and create at the same time.
I've been creating a road that's spongy so I can bounce along.
Yes,
Like
that's what I've been doing.
you know, just bouncing along and laughing.
Yeah, I do. I have this thing where I have this cube and it's all spongy walls, and I bounce from on all these different walls. It's like being on a trampoline. It's real fun. No fear of being hurt. It's all gone. Just do whatever you want.
Been making stars on strings and just
Oh!
hanging them around as I'm bouncing along on the road.
I've just gone deeper and I've just seen Jesus. I just woke up and realized, oh, I'll be walking I'll see Jesus as a real person. And you can break through like the sky or whatever you're in. It's like a ceiling. You just jump straight through it and you're somewhere else.
I just have such a desire to just be like a child.
Yeah, me too. It's as if you can't do anything else other than be completely silly and childish, and you can't be grown up and just. I don't see myself wanting to sit down and have a business meeting. I just want to run and create and jump through things and command beautiful scenery in front of me and new environments all so quickly. Explore.
I see the face of Jesus and I'm stepping into him. It's like when I behold him, I just become him. I'm seeing like his face is full of light, and that light is also me.
Hmm.
It's like we're morphing and we're becoming one.
Oh. Wow. So I'm seeing that the the way we see ourselves, the appearance can really change. So it's not like we're stuck in the image of what we look like. We can really change that. But then there is an image that goes along with us, but it's not a fixed thing. Oh, back to this glitter thing, Simone, that you said. I've seen like if you open yourself up, you can. It's as if like all this glitter comes out of you, but it's actually immense creations everywhere. So it's as if you can create multiple things at one go. And that's why there's just so many amazing things to explore, because the creative ability is huge.
Yeah, that's what I saw when we were in the tube too. It was just all at once, everywhere I looked, just boom, 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 and I knew it was just coming out of us.
Wow.
And I was thinking of too, when you and I kept seeing myself at one stage, just like, oh, I'm just going to do this because I feel like it. As I was bouncing down the rubbery path, I saw myself actually turn into this golden candy stick.
Yes.
Just because I wanted to.
Yeah, I've seen that. You just morph into anything you want. That's what's fun.
And I was thinking of that liquid man on one of those movies, Terminator.
Yes.
And it was like this liquid person, and that's what I meant. It was like this freedom of I could just be whatever I want.
Yeah, it's going to be like one big party. We can just be able to change into anything and have a laugh.
I agree, Jane. And I just wanted to say there's a strong connection between what we're seeing tonight and what we saw Monday night in the Rising Suns. Because we saw gold there too. And we also saw a golden globe. And so it's this reoccurring theme of the earth. So I think this is just a major confirmation tonight.
Oh, wow. Thank you for that.
And the Golden Globe was the new Earth.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah, well, I've been seeing everything in gold.
Huh.
It's the New Jerusalem standard. Like the gold standard, it's the New Jerusalem standard.
Oh, well, we can keep exploring on our own after, and maybe even share in any of the chats any new kind of understandings you get, because everything sows seeds for someone else to encounter it in a deeper way. So it's all very valuable. And I see it just opens gateways of the mind to go places that, you know, an adult would say, don't go there, that's just silly, that's silly, stupid. Told me a scripture, just, but it's like becoming a child. It's just really allowing yourself to have fun. I'm sure there'll be deeper meanings as well, though, once we get over the whack of being a child. I'm sure we will do something really profound, but I think at the moment it's all just so wonderful. It's just, let's just have a whole load of fun and explore and touch things and try and see in your mind how you can change. And because I see as well, this is how you begin to translocate on the earth as well, because you've allowed your mind to think in such different ways that you're not blocking any flow to anything. So it's all a real adjustment of the mind to flow with
I had
this.
such a strong desire. I wanted to see something that I've never seen before. Like seeing something created that there's just nothing to compare it with.
Wow, I never thought of that.
But I didn't, you know, I was seeing some very strange things, but I sort of thought, well, that looks like a crystal though. So I still had a name for it, but it was like, Lord, I really just want to see something that that there's not even a name for.
That's a huge doorway. Once you open that, wow. I feel like you've just opened a doorway to like a new, to experience this in a deeper way. Wow, it's obvious now you've said it. We should be able to create anything that you could imagine. Like even like combinations of things. Like walking trees, for example.
Yeah, like I saw these big crystal-like things and they were just talking as I was going along the bumpy, spongy path.
Oh, I've seen that. Everything emits the glory of God. Everything. And it sort of almost sings a frequency of the glory of God. And it also worships you. It bows down and worships you. So all creation should worship us and support us and nourish us. So that's what I see. It's like you go through this sort of avenue of trees and they wave and they sort of honor you.
Yes,
They were
Jane, and even the wind is speaking your name. The wind is speaking your name and whispering to you. I saw that too.
Yeah, I think we've got to get used to the fact that we'll be worshipped.
Yes, yes. I have different names, many names. My African name, this and that, and it's like I heard all of them like in a song by the wind. Beautiful melody.
Yeah, that happens even now. Here, on the earth, as you walk.
Yeah.
I mean, trees recognize me now.
Yeah. Actually, yes, I have experienced that. Yeah.
I find that there's like one main tree in the whole, you know, that's like the lead tree, and it, you know. So yeah, that's astonishing, but yeah.
Yeah, I think we've got to get to that mindset of awareness that was the intention, and to look for it in the here and now. I mean, I had an encounter. It was just like that. I was just driving down this street, and I heard all these frequencies coming out of these trees, and I knew they were like bowing down to me because I'd gone through them. It was just awesome.
Yes. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Yes.
Jesus. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I'm just getting such a sense in me that from all of this experience that it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
And we'll probably go away, and then we'll probably have this huge crisis of confidence going, what, this is so silly, what we're doing. But I think the more we push through, the more it becomes normal, and we don't fight it, and we just keep opening ourselves up.
And I don't think this is normal. This is supernatural. It's no longer normal. No, the world won't see it as normal, but we know it's normal. So it will be supernatural to the world until they step into it with us.
Yes, yes. Oh, Lisa says, I saw rainbow talking fish in a stream. Ooh. I heard birds today, and I was positive they were calling my name. Oh, awesome, Lisa. Woo. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. I know that movie keeps coming back to me big time. And that movie opened up, I think, in my mind, ability of how things could be. And I just see that all the time. Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
You just can't stop laughing.
Yeah.
It's a real release. That's what I'm experiencing. Just a real release.
Yeah, and a real release from being so grown up, you know? I think we always feel such a pressure, don't we, to be grown up, and time for fun. We have to do all the grown up things, but I see this is grown up, because this is creating a whole new environment. The more we can go with our imagination, we are creating doors and opening up for people to go there and say that's okay, and that freedom. I think we're pioneering stuff here. This is not just our own personal experience.
I feel like this is freedom at last, freedom to be the real you. No restraint, no hindrance, no obstacle. You like the wind, you're free.
Yeah.
You can blow wherever you want to blow. Nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
No resistance.
No limits.
Invincible. We are invincible. We are invincible. Yes. That's how I feel.
Patience, you've just opened another door for me, because I've realized we can become like the wind. So we not even in form, we can just become complete spirit like the wind.
Yes. I felt that earlier on. It's like I was walking, but my head was down. I was walking with my head down, and I was wondering, because I was bouncing all over the place, and I heard, you are wind. You're free. Nothing can stop you. The boundaries are removed. No more hindrance. You're free.
Oh, I feel the freedom on that.
Yeah, I feel a lot on that one too.
Let it be done as the ecclesia as well.
Amen. Yes.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Oh,
thank you, Father, for freedom. Hallelujah.
Freedom.
Oh, well, are we complete? Does anyone get any other Anything else to share before we close?
The fountain of life that we saw earlier, way back. I see it within us.
How do you mean?
I don't know.
Like we're just water as well. We can just be like gushing water, not just wind. We can be.
Yeah, that's
Actually, that lines up. That's what we saw in the beginning with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's when I saw when we come down the tube and that, like the fountain. I saw the fountain, a fountain like the fountain Trevi, whatever you call that fountain. I saw it as I looked at myself. I saw it like it was me. It was part of me.
I think that's life-giving spirit.
Wow. That's us birth in the water.
That's life-giving spirit.
Yeah, and that's how when we're in a position, we look like that, like with people who can see with natural eyeballs, and they receive teaching directly from God.
Well, I've actually been having these other seeing these other realms. I think it's in infinity, where we become the river. So we don't go into the river because we become the river. So then we just constantly gush forth, and that's how we flow everything. I think it's through. I get the sense it's through infinity and it's through eternity as well. Yeah, it's just amazing. We become the river. And the river of life.
Yes.
All right. Shall we turn off the recording? Thank you, everyone. And that was just
Okay.
wonderful.